Okay, so it's Milan-Sanremo time. You might know that I'm a bit of a fantasy sports fan in general, particularly fantasy football. And one thing that tends to happen is that when you have content creators in the world of fantasy football, what they do each week is they make a video and they will claim to be doing something slightly outrageous or unorthodox. So they'll have the video thumbnail and it'll say like game week 33 playing my wild card ? Or game week 17 time to sell Erling Haaland. And 95% of the time they're just doing this for attention and clicks, and when it actually comes to the game week itself, they go ahead and do the orthodox sensible thing. But if all their videos are the same, saying the orthodox sensible thing, then they don't get the clicks. And so with that in mind, for Milan-Sanremo, I'm not going to get either Mathieu van der Poel or Tadej Pogacar. I'm going without them. Maybe I'll change my mind and do the orthodox sensible thing. But if we just do a quick review of the past few years, we have, see if I can remember off the top of my head, 2018, 2018 is Nibali attacking. And attacks on the Poggio. Group doesn't get together because they all lean on Sagan, and then he goes to the end and just wins solo. 2019, Julian Alaphilippe wins from a group, a sort of small to medium group, wins the sprint out of that. 2020, Alaphilippe and Wout van Aert get away and cooperate, and then Van Aert wins the sprint. 2021, Stuyven attacks at the bottom of the Poggio descent. I think someone should have chased for Ewan and didn't or something, but either way they couldn't get their act together and various things happened. Stuyven won. 2022, Mohoric attacks on the descent, does his famous thing with the drop a seat post and goes away. So wait, where we're at 2020, 2023, Van der Poel, Van Aert, Ganna and Pogacar get away on the Poggio, and then Van der Poel rolls them all, goes over the top at the top of the climb and stays away solo to win. 24, Pog attacks, it all sort of comes back together. Turns out Philipsen's at the back of the group, and then Stuyven pulls for Pedersen and Van der Poel pulls for Philipsen, and Philipsen wins. And 2025 we all remember. I think the point from this is it's never the same. We've had the same scenario happen, but it never happens the same way the next year. It always seems to be. It never kind of goes like, we always sort of go, oh, it's going to, everyone's talking about Milan-Sanremo, like, what version of last year will it be? And maybe it won't be a version of last year at all. And especially as we seem to be now getting a forecast that there will be possibly more like crosswind and possibly slight headwind on the Poggio and Cipressa, and there will, I think, pretty certainly be at least a cross headwind on the road in between the Cipressa and the Poggio, which is really bad news for Pog if he attacks. So I'm pretty much writing off Pog's chances, because basically at the price, at the credits, 34 credits you have to pay for Van der Poel and Pogacar, you really need them to win. Where I have the most doubt and I'm most likely to change my mind is Van der Poel, because he can still win in a number of scenarios, and even if there is more of a headwind and a larger group sprints for the win, Pogacar still has a really good sprint, especially at the end of a long race. So there's a chance, if I can find bargains, that will go with Van der Poel, but I'm pretty much guarantee I'm not going to pick Pogacar. And I guess the issue is just that, I know, like Lantern Rouge podcast does all this scenario analysis, there's still just quite a lot of scenarios where Van der Poel doesn't win. And in the 2024 scenario, because he chased down Tom Pidcock and led out for Jasper Philipsen, he ended up coming 9th, 10th, something like that. So it kind of, I think the last thing I want to mention, sorry, I haven't planned this very well. The last thing I kind of want to mention is that because of the wind, does feel like sprinting ability, if not being a pure sprinter, is going to be key to getting scoring decent points in this race. And if that happens, you don't really get much sprinting ability at a low cost point, because George from Fellow Games can easily say, oh hey, that guy can sprint, I'll make sure he costs plenty of points. So you can go for you can't sort of just get Mathieu van der Poel and then fill it up with Philipsen and Van Aert or something. You've got to be looking much lower down. So yeah, that's where my thoughts are. I don't know if it's much of a preview, but hopefully it'll give you some pause of thought, but definitely don't entirely trust that I'll fully go through with the plan.